going on, friends? My name is MT38 and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Last time left off, we defeated the gym of Moss Deep City, got some stuff from the sunken ship, or also known as the abandoned ship, whichever we want to call it. I usually call it a sunken ship because, well, SMRPG. Anyway, now that we have Dive, now that we can use Dive, there's a lot of areas that we can explore now that we have Dive. And so what I did is, I spent like maybe a few days worth of recording basically the entire diving adventure, as I like to call it. So there's a lot of editing involved, and so you'll be seeing some like random cuts and such. So first up, here's the Shoal Cave. Now there's two parts of Shoal Cave. There's a low tide and a high tide. Right now I got the high tide, and the way this works is there's a certain hour into whichever tide this is. It'll be. I believe it changes every 6 hours, but the way that I'm recording this, I won't be able to show off the low tide at all, because the way I set the clock in the beginning of the game, it's gonna stay there forever from the way I'm recording this. So unless I decide to start the game over and play up to this point, which would be a pain in the butt, then I would show up the low tide from that point. But I'm not gonna do that. So if the tide is high, you can get some items called shoal shells. They actually respawn when you leave and come back. And if it's the low tide, you get shoal salts. And if you can get 4 shoal shells or shoal salts, you will get an item called the Shell Bell, which heals up very little HP. It heals up very little HP for every turn. It's a pretty good item to have, but I'm not gonna get it here in this in this episode. So yeah. If the tide is low, there's a lot more areas to explore. As of right now, since the tide is high, there's really not much you can really do. So you can see I'm not gonna get a lot of items. So I mean it's all right. As you can see right there, what I just did, that was just me checking how many shoal shells I got. You may notice I'm cutting out the HM dialogues because it saves time like that, and the dialogue gets pretty repetitive sometimes when you have to do a lot when you have to do a lot of that. You may also notice that I'm not encountering any of these trainers because I fought basically every trainer off screen, so that added a lot of my training. So my team is pretty high leveled at the moment since I fought everybody at this point. So now we come to the big part, which is diving. So there's a lot of diving places. You can pretty much dive anywhere. It's all by preference, but I'm just diving up to items that I know how to get, or at least items that I remember how to get. So if I missed any items, then I pretty much missed out on every item. It's all right. There are probably some items that I missed are probably just items that I'll probably like never use because of how useless they are. So yeah. If you're planning on getting all the legendaries, you might want to catch yourself a Whalmer and a Relicanth. Those are required for getting all the legendaries. So be sure you get that. I did catch both of them off screen. Also, we now made way to Sootopolis City, which you're actually not supposed to be here until until later. At this point, where you're supposed to go is fight Team Magma, but I'm not gonna do that in this episode. Also, you might have heard a bit of a brief cut on the audio. Sorry about that. For some reason, the audio stopped recording, so I gotta start that over again. Anyway, so I'm gonna heal. So I'm gonna create a. So I create a point where I can fly there. So that way, next time I have to go back to Sapphire City, I can can fly there. Because I remember my first time playing Pokemon Emerald, and I got to the point where I actually have to go to Sapphire City. I can never figure out how to actually get there. Like, I couldn't even find the entrance to get it to Sapphire City for some reason. I don't know why. I guess I just really sucked. Oh well. Right there, you can get a heart scale. So you use that to reteach some moves that you've forgotten, like moves that you probably regret teaching. That cut right there that you saw was me getting lost and eventually found my way. And I did not Spirit Repel, so I ran into some wild Pokemon. There's actually a trainer down there if you keep going down. But obviously I already fought that trainer, so you don't have to worry too much about that. There's when you see those dark spots when you're diving underwater, that's how you can tell that there's a hidden item. Most of the time that works. So I pretty much edited this whole video yesterday. So, and the editing was a bit of a pain because of how much cutting I had to do. So yeah. All right, now once again, surfing back from Deepsea City. Now we're gonna explore Route 127. Once again, there are trainers here. They're actually really strong trainers if you make way down here, because you're normally not supposed to actually come here to Route 127. You're actually supposed to go to Route 128, I believe. Well, actually, yeah, you can't actually. Yeah, you have to go to Route 127 to get to Route 128. But you're not really like supposed to go like any further than Route 128. So if you fight the trainers up onwards, then they're pretty strong. But I mean, you can still go there. And then once again, I was getting lost, so I just dived into a different area. It's strange how you can encounter wild Pokemon from above the water when you're surfing, but then when you're diving underwater, you don't run into any wild Pokemon. Like, that does not make sense. I believe though in Black and White, when you dive underwater, you do find wild Pokemon in the water. I'm not too sure. You can fight those fishermen, and one of the fishermen, I believe, has like a team of not a team of Gyarados, a team of Magikarps, and oh man, how annoying! Such a nightmare. You can get yourself a red shard there, and that's pretty much it. Unless there's more that I'm not thinking of. Yep, that's it. Alright. There's an area that we can't actually get to unless we dive, so we gotta find somewhere to dive. God, this brings back the commentary style that I did back when I did Soul Silver. Also, this is also those wild Pokemon encounters. I actually ran out of repels on this part, so I've been running into a lot of wild Pokemon. Thankfully, though, with editing, I can cut all that out, and that's great. Alright, there's Carbos, and then this is when I start flying back to Deepsea City. so I can buy some more repels. And this time, instead of super repels, I'm getting max repels. Because max repels are more effective than super repels. Alright. Now we're going to make way here to Route 128, which is actually where we're supposed to go. Because actually you're supposed to dive here, and well, not exactly this spot, because this spot right here will get you a protein. But if you dive basically in the area below, in the island below that is where you'll have to go. And this is why I hate doing post commentary, because I can't really talk about much stuff when I compared to when I do live. Also, that is the wrong diving spot. Do not dive there. You instead want to dive in the area next to that dark spot, because there's nothing of interest if you dive on that spot. Instead come over here, you get yourself some pearl, and that's pretty much it. Alright, now if you keep going left over here, you can fight some trainers here. These are pretty high level trainers, because you're actually not supposed to go here yet. But coming over here, this is Evergrande City. And there's a huge waterfall. Well, whatever shall we do? Well, gotta wait till later. That's so mean how they put a waterfall there. God, and also what sucks about doing this post is I can't I don't react as well when I'm doing post. Also over here, ooh, the submarine. That must be the submarine that Team Magma stole. Well, let's dive up and see what we got. Yeah, welcome to the Seafloor Cavern. Well, too bad. We were supposed to come over here, but too bad. I'm not doing that. I'm not going in there yet. You could if you want, but I still got more stuff to explore. Alright. Next area. Now we're gonna go down and then to the left. First off, you come over here. You can come over here to this side to fight a few trainers. Then you come over here, and this will actually take us to a completely optional city. You actually don't have to come to the city at all. You may notice there's like this huge space in the water. This huge space is there's actually supposed to be an island called Mirage Island, and you get the one-time only. You can get a berry. I don't remember what it's called, but you get a certain berry that can only be gotten in Mirage Island, and it's a pretty big island. Not really a lot on the island, but if you can get, but I don't know how to determine, but it's a very low % chance of getting of having the island appear. And if you can somehow, and if you get it, if Mirage Island appears on your end, then you are really lucky. Which, at this point, right now, I didn't get good luck. So, you're not gonna see Mirage Island in this playthrough. Like I said, I don't know how it's determined. But it is a pretty low % chance. Also, this is very silly. Where'd you come from? Yes or no? It's funny how when you say yes, he's like, yes town. What is that? It's like funny. And then no's like, oh, you come from the bottom of the sea. I don't get this sometimes. Come over here. It's the Pokemon Fan Club's younger brother, and here's how it's determined. Every day. Every day you can check on him, and if your Pokemon likes you, you get return. If your Pokemon hates you, then you get the TM for frustration. So you can get 2 TMs that contain return, which in this game, for whatever reason. So return depends on if your Pokemon likes you, then the move is strong. If your Pokemon hates you, then the move frustration is strong. Also, this route's really annoying because you have to go through this route a bunch of different times to get everything in this route. Thankfully, though, I fought every trainer, so I mean, you can pretty much figure out what you have to do. You have to do like specific things that if you want to get all the items and all the trainers. If you go to the route that I'm going with, you can get yourself a big pearl, as well as a couple trainers. And then right here, I was just thinking like where should I dive to next? Also, this route's actually pretty important later if you want to get all the legendaries, and you'll see why as soon as I'm finished dawdling around here. There's an item up there that I can't get, so I have to try to look for a different way to get that item. I don't think I actually got that item at all in this episode, but it's alright, but oh well. I'm not gonna really get every single thing, because that'd be too much work. Then as soon as you come over here, this is pretty much where it all ends. And then all that takes you back all the way to Slateport City. Now, you can try to surf from Slateport City to get to Pacific Log Town, but you really can't because of these currents that are pushing you to the left. And there's really no way around those currents. So you have to go from Precipitdog to Slateport. And that can be pretty annoying. Alright, so we went like sort of to the top. Now we're going to try out a different path here. Let's see where this path takes me. I don't actually remember the exact path that I took. You can fight those two trainers. Those two trainers is actually not a double battle. It's actually just two different trainers. If you want to fight them. Alright. Let's see what this is. Let's see what I took. You come over here. Oh, okay, this is perfect. Okay, so dive from this spot right here. And I believe it has to be exactly this spot. No, actually, you can be slightly down if you want. But you have to dive from the middle of that island and then dive here. And actually, this diving spot is actually really important later on. Dive down this way. If you dive up from any other area besides this spot, it'll take you back out. So you want to dive from this spot, and then you welcome to the sealed chamber. Also, if you read that just now, that says dive here. And then if you read this, if you can read it well, then this one says dig here. Now, this says a little message, which I'll go over later. That right there says first Whale Lord and then second Relicant, or am I thinking of Emerald? Because in Emerald it's a complete opposite order. But we'll deal with this whole puzzle later. Right now for the time being, well, that's not the time. That actually, if you solve the puzzle, you actually don't have to beat the game to actually activate that. It actually activates a certain legendary trio that we can actually get. But I would recommend getting it, getting those guys a little later, because at this point we're pretty much under leveled to actually take them on now. Also, that trainer that I was making my way to is actually the one and only dragon tamer. That's the only dragon tamer in the whole game, surprisingly. And obviously, by the name, as the name implies, dragon tamer uses dragon Pokemon. And actually, in this game, unlike in Generations 1 and 2, where the only dragon Pokemon in those games is Dratini, Dragonairs, and Dragonites, basically the Dratini forms. In this game and onwards, that's when they start spicing up the variety of dragon Pokemon. Same with ghost Pokemon. They start spicing up the variety of ghost Pokemon now. Also, now I can get this item since I did the path incorrect. You get a star piece, sell it for like $5,000. Very nice selling item. So yeah, that's what I like about 3rd gen. 3rd gen is when they start making Pokemon a little more interesting. 4th gen is probably like my favorite. Well, no. Yeah, 4th gen is like my favorite though. Even though Crystal's my favorite Pokemon game, but 4th gen is like amazing. I just like what they did with 4th gen. That's just my opinion. All right. And I believe after this round, I went for one more round of going through this route, or maybe I went through 2 more rounds. It looks like I went through 2 more rounds. I don't know, but yeah, I went through 2 more. I went for another round after this round, because over here you get a silver rare candy, and then the other round that I went for is for a trainer that is really hard to go for if you're going to fight all the trainers here in this route. Which the path that looks like right now, it doesn't really look like I went for all the trainers. But I did fight every trainer in this route off screen. All right, now we're going for one more round, and this one more round will take me to basically the hardest trainer to actually reach in this route. Or at least it seems like it to me. Alright, and then after that, that's pretty much it. So, alright, well, that's gonna be it for this episode of, so you want to avoid those upper currents up there, so you want to actually be on the very left, on the very top left of that island, and that's how you get to this trainer. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, and next time we are going to go fight Team Magma, and that's how you get to that. That's how you get to that trainer right there. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.